Hi, this is Hannah introducing Prahlad Papper, who is here today doing research. And Prahlad, can you tell us more about the research that you're doing?
Well, I'm monitoring these oak trees. These were planted in the early 1990s by Joe McBride, a professor at UC Berkeley. These are blue oaks that were collected from sites really all around California. And so they represent pretty much a lot of the genetic diversity in Californian oaks. And they're all planted right here at Hopland, which makes it easy to come through and see sort of what their phenology is, which is what I'm doing, or what their reproductive stage is. The phenology that I'm doing today is just coming through and looking at what their leaf out is. I was hoping that maybe this year I would start to see flowers, but really not a lot of flowers. It's possible that there's some female flowers that I'm missing. But so instead what I'm looking at is leaves. Over the past 6 weeks or so, most of the trees here have gone from sort of swelling leaf buds and breaking leaf buds to the stage that we see now where there's sort of young leaves on the trees. This one here has very small leaves. These are about 1 centimeter long. That would be a young leaf, a very young leaf stage. But other trees around in here that come from maybe from a different site or have a slightly different genetic background have mature leaves. And so even though they're growing in the same environment, we can see variations in how they're responding.
Okay. Well, thanks so much for explaining that to us. Now, you've mentioned to me already today that what you've seen from your research it looks like we're already seeing things happening a little bit earlier this year. Is that right?
Yeah, this year in particular, 2015 is very early. The past couple years have been a little bit early, but it seems like this year in particular is very early. The first date I came out to this garden was February 16th. And already by then, there was quite a lot of breaking leaf buds, which sort of based on my previous more sort of informal knowledge is 3 to 6 weeks early. And that sort of meshes with what I'm seeing at other sites with trees that aren't planted in rows like this, but sort of natural trees in the environment. A lot of the oaks are really early, although there's also quite a lot of variation. Sort of elevation seems to be having a big effect. So some trees seem to be almost right on schedule, whereas another tree just a few hundred meters away might be 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks early.
And just to finish off, Prahlad, I hope you wouldn't mind mentioning, I know you're involved in a little bit of a citizen science project that you're going on to today. Can you just tell us a little bit about that and the program that it's involving?
Yeah, so it's sort of a nested program. There's this thing, the USA National Phenology Network, which is a national program in the United States. And then in California, we have a subset of that, the California Phenology Project, which is aimed at looking at this specific list of 30 species that have ranges sometimes throughout the state or sometimes they're focal species within one region of the state. And I'm interested in setting that up here in Mendocino County, both in Ukiah and at Hopland. And actually, this will be probably part of my research around the state. I'm hoping to set that up in a lot of sites. And using citizen science volunteers who have been trained in these fairly flexible protocols to look at these target species and watch them over the long term to see what the effects of climate change and environmental variability are.
Great. So this is with the Inland California Naturalist Training Program tonight?
Right. So tonight I'm going to be going and talking about phenology and how to track phenology both formally and informally to this first training of the California naturalists in Ukiah today.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to hear more about your research as it goes on, and I'm excited about how those naturalists are going to be involved in citizen science. Thank you so much, Prahlad.
Yeah, thank you.